Hey everyone, it's Whiskey Wednesday. Who's with me tonight? Who's been waiting with their Yetis? Look at mine, isn't it pretty? I don't normally drink in a pink cup, but pink is water. But this was a special pink Yeti. It had a stain on it because I normally drink water in my pink Yetis, but it had a stain on it, so I covered my stain up. And then I took it on vacation. This was a DIY project. Upcycle Designs. Hello, happy DIY. That's Judy. Hi, Judy. And Patricia from Florida. Hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Got hair in my eye. We are painting, changing my Faithful Foundations from a Christmas. This was one of the Christmas papers, but it doesn't have to be. We can change it into, I have two of them. We can change it into spring or summer or fall or winter. Hey, Brenda. Hi, Carrie. Good morning. Good morning. So we're going to do this. I have a little bit of a plan. Claire is here. Hi, Connie. This is Claire from England. Well, hello, Claire. Welcome, welcome. Jill is here from South Louisiana.
April says hello.
April is here. Hello, April. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Happy DIY, y'all. DIY there. Hello, DIY, made on Maple Lane. I think that's Stephanie, am I right? Made on Maple Lane. For those that are new, I'm Connie from The Painting Photographer, and it's Whiskey Wednesday. Hi, Tana. It's Whiskey Wednesday, and Sandy watching from New Zealand. Well, hello, welcome, welcome. I'm right. Woo! Excellent. Excellent. So anytime I say, or you say, and make me say DIY, we all take a drink. You can have coffee, you can have water, you can have whiskey, you can have beer, you can have a margarita, whatever you want. DIY.
April says DIY.
That was for you, April.
Lisa Horner, outside enjoying beautiful weather. It's beautiful 70 degrees today.
70 degrees today, Lisa.
And Lisa says DIY.
And Lisa, that deserves a DIY because we're still sitting here in the 20s with
Bunch of snow.
2 feet of snow. So DIY to you, Lisa. Okay, before I drink that entire drink, we better get to our project. So I have 2 cutting boards. They're really cheapy, chintzy cutting boards, but they were in my baking cupboard. I don't know why, but they were. So I pulled them out and thought this would be a good project for tonight. So we're going to make this Faithful Foundations, turn it over into spring or summer look. So I'm going to do 2 different ways just in case you want to do it a different way. One, we're going to hand paint flowers. And the second one, we're going to use some IOD transfers in case you can't paint.
Elaine says hello.
Hi, Elaine.
Merry
Mary Grinker. Hello, Mary Grinker. Elaine, am I on your big TV? So I have Brenda here, record-breaking 91 degrees here in Northern California. Ellen says Phoenix is 100 degrees now.
Lisa said, usually
That's crazy.
Usually we have 6 feet of snow on the top. We have here in-
Wow.
Because it's all in Wisconsin.
Yeah, we brought it all to Wisconsin, Lisa. So, all right, DIY for all you hot girls out there. I hope you're drinking a margarita. If it was 91 degrees, I'd be drinking a margarita. Hi, Diane. Hello, hello. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is this rice paper is going to be on this one. So I painted it white underneath there so it's a little bit brighter. So you can see that if I wouldn't paint it white, it's a little bit duller underneath here. But I painted it white so it became a little brighter. So that's that one. Then this one, we're going to do a little bit different look to it. So I'm going to fussy cut this church out. Yes, I'm going to fussy cut this church out. So we're going to put a real piece of sheet music on here. And before we get started, I got to show you this treasure that I got. So I think I got to pick the camera up a bit. So this is a piece of well, it's actually a magazine from, my sister gave me this. Do you know what a paper box is? Do you know, like when you work in an office and you get paper in those boxes with the covers on them? She gave me 2 paper boxes full of my mother's and grandmother's and great-grandmother's sheet music. Not even kidding. I'll show you some of it. So this is an ad for Coca-Cola for 5 cents. Wilson, oh, you can't. Here. We're going to Google Lens this. I got to see when this is from.
That were 72 in Dallas.
Ooh.
Then some up this way.
So that is an ad. I'm going to have Wilson Google Lens that for us. And actually, it's going to tell me right here, 1911. So this paper is from 1911.
1911 to 1915.
Look at Nestle Food. And you could buy a toothbrush for 35 cents. And then on the back side of it was a piece of sheet music. So it says June 1912. You're probably going to go crazy because I am going to use this piece of sheet music from 1912 and glue it to this cutting board. Yeah. Don't freak out on me because I'm going to show you some other stuff in a second. Look at this ad. Isn't that crazy? For your enjoyment everywhere, here's an individual among drinks, a beverage that fairly snaps with delicious goodness and refreshing wholeness. Coca-Cola was back in 1913 or 1911, whatever it was. 1911. Okay, so we're going to decoupage this on here. Look at the tape that they used. They taped it together right here, and I absolutely love that. So your dad was born in 1910.
Mary Drinker said her dad was born in 1911.
Wow. Well, guess what? Oh, yeah. Happy DIY. Woo-oo. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to decoupage this on here. And then I'm going to show you, sorry, That probably hurt your ears if you had your headphones in. Sorry about that.
Elaine says you're on the TV.
All right, perfect.
It's a minute or so behind.
Oh, that's okay.
Any DIY coupons in that paper?
Maybe. We'll find out next Monday, okay? I'll bring them with. Oh my gosh, I'm misting this with water and all the stains are coming out now. Oh my gosh. So now I'm gonna fold it over. This thing is gross. So I'm gonna use some liquid patina. I have a trick for you. This is raw wood. So it's gonna take liquid patina really, really well. And it's gonna just suck it right up. So I'm gonna give that a minute to suck into that wood. And then I'm gonna go a second time over top of it. And then I'm gonna use heavy gel matte medium.
Larry Henderson says DIY. He was 53 when I was born. My mom was 41. Baby of an inch.
Oh.
Elaine says, no, I can't go.
You're gonna, Elaine. I'm gonna show you why it's okay that I do this in a minute. As soon as we're gonna let this dry. This is so old that it's just like it's fallen apart. It falls apart when you look at it. Okay, now I'm going to do a little liquid patina down here. Let that sit on there for a minute or two, suck into those wood fibers. And then go back a second time. And then some heavy gel matte medium, making sure that it sticks on there. And then making sure I get all the wrinkles out. This stained so bad from the water that I missed it on here. It's almost ugly, but guess what? It's old. It's 1911. Okay, this has got to dry. How many times can I say okay? Yeah. We better not drink every time I say okay. So let's see why it's okay that I did that. I gotta wrap my brush up because it's gonna be a minute. Actually, let's put the, sorry, have to delay you one more time. Let's put this one on. So this is rice paper. It's going to be misted. I do need to cut it off. No, I'm gonna fussy cut the other one. I do want a nice straight edge on here. And the rest I don't care about. But I'm gonna straight edge that right there. Okay, I got it on there where I want it. My paper doesn't fill the whole board. So that is gonna be where I'm gonna wrap my twine. So it's gonna work perfect. Okay, I missed, see? Good thing we're not drinking of that. I misted the paper and it wrinkled up. And I'm gonna do this one this way. So this was already painted in a DIY paint.
Lisa Steven. Hello, happy DIY. Hi, Lisa.
Hello, Lisa. All right.
James is watching with that 1911 paper makes me cry. I'm going to need an extra DIY.
You go right ahead, Elaine. I hate to make you cry with a 1911 paper. I have the other half I can give you. Actually, I have lots. You just wait. As soon as I get this on here, we got show and tell, guys. We got show and tell.
Zella Smith says, good evening, Bonnie Wilson.
Hello, Zella. Zella is, no, that's not Zella. Is it? No, that's not Zella. Zella is, I forgot. I just read Zella's name the other day and I don't remember why. I thought it was on Whatnot, but maybe not. All right, heavy gel, matte medium. Or it could have been in Christina, the Turn Legs group. That could be where I seen her name. She's also a DIY, not a DIY, a Connie Lines and Designs retailer. So she probably has this paper for you to purchase. All right, I put that paper down. You can see that I left my edges not painted white. They're just stained. And I'm going to go on with the liquid patina, getting a nice coat on there.
Zella says, no, what not for me.
Oh, no, Whatnot? Must have been in
Yes.
Christina's group.
Yes, Christina.
Okay. Then I'm going to go in with heavy gel matte medium because I'm going to paint up this paper and I want to make sure that it has a nice finish on it. Perfect. I got to get this off of here.
Tanya says, DIY, can't wait to see those little people.
Yes, we're gonna have beer coupons. All right.
Beer had to be like 1 cent back then, huh?
Yeah, I didn't see any beer ads.
Oh. It wasn't invented yet.
Well, Coca-Cola was.
Oh, yeah.
They probably had whiskey and Coca-Cola.
No, I read somewhere where there's actually cocaine in Coca-Cola.
Oh, really?
Whether that was true or not, I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know where I seen that.
Well, that's crazy. All right, we're gonna wrap this up, and then it's show and tell time. But I need a DIY.
What are you showing?
But you'll see. It's show and tell time. I need room. DIY, everyone.
That show and tell?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Okay. In
That show.
my 2 paper boxes, I need lots. In my 2 paper boxes, here's some papers that I found. And it's all music. My grandma played piano. My great-grandmother played piano. My mom played piano. I played piano. We all play piano. Our granddaughters play piano. So everything is music related. But this is the paper that was in there. I even shared with somebody already. But this paper falls apart just looking at it. So isn't that cool? Look at that. It's all taped together. And so this is a piece of sheet music.
Lori Henderson says DIY. It's true about Coke.
Is it?
I don't know where I seen that.
I don't know either, but obviously it's true. So here's another piece. Like they fall apart just by looking at them. So here's one of my grandmother was a scrapbooker. She was a mixed media person, believe it or not. She was a scrapbooker. And now you know where I get it from. Marla says I'm late because I was in my workspace trying out the Connie method for Crackle DIY. Yes, Marla. Excellent. DIY to you.
Dallas says I'm on my second jar of heavy gel medium this year. Getting ready for show season. And that stuff is a game
It is a game changer.
changer.
This, this, if you don't have this, you really should grab it off of Amazon. You can find my affiliate link on any of my YouTube videos and grab that heavy gel matte medium. It is so good. I use it right along with liquid patina because this stuff is too thick and this stuff doesn't hold as well as this stuff. So mix them together and it's the best combination. Okay, so this, my grandma was a scrapbooker. So this was a magazine that my grandma had. And this page was on here. It was supposedly glued on here way back in the day. I took it off. I wanted to see what was in here. So this is the back side of this magazine. And I did find a year on this, but we got to keep going because I don't know when it is. But this is for Ivory Soap. And then she used a calendar from 1932. And look at those numbers. And those, isn't that just gorgeous? Like Royce could make a paper out of this. For real, guys. Thank you, Lisa. And then my grandma hand wrote what music was in here. So this is still that magazine. And then she decoupaged this on here with all whatever music was in here. So you can see, right, like this was a magazine and it's falling apart, but she decoupaged that music on there. Like right here, look at, don't you just want to peek in there and see what that is? There's like an advertisement in there. So good. And I played piano, but oh my gosh, how could you ever play that? And this is another one. Look at, peek in there. Peek in there. Look at that lady. That's like, then there's a man smoking a pipe. Yeah. So now there's this one. She didn't cover this page up, but there's a joke on here. It says, Ma says, can we please have our bucket when you're through with it? Because our house is on fire. He's washing the car. Ha ha ha. Here's another one. Look at, she taped the corner. Sorry, Grandma. I got to see what's in here. Campbell's tomato soup. Soup vastly improves the cold meal. Always include one hot dish. Look at those tomatoes. Such a good illustration. And then look at this man. Says, for every reader who enjoys seeing dad get the better of a smart aleck son. This is my mom and my grandma and my great grandmother's music. So it is, they were all piano players and they had this music. They gave it to my sister Diane got it somehow. And look at this, proof from Kentucky. Baking is easy. Then this one, she put tape all the way around it. And then she put tape all the way around here. And then she's got this one. Can you hear that snowmobile? Here's another advertisement, another piece of music. Kellogg's Corn Flakes, appetizers. Look at, she just put the music on there right on top of this magazine. Grandma. So anyway, Listerine toothpaste at 25 cents. So my sister Diane was tired of them, so she gave this 2 paper boxes with the covers on them. She gave me 2 paper boxes full of this stuff. Plump full. I'm not kidding you. Plump full. The soup paper would be a great paper for decoupage. I know, right? I think I need to contact Royce. But then again, why would I give Royce these? Why wouldn't I use them? Because I don't do this kind of stuff. All right, here's another paper. This one is Crown Books, Super Crown. You paid full price, you didn't buy it at Super Crown. And then here's the end page where she put all of the songs that were on the back side in here. And then I ripped this off from the back of the magazine. And I got to show you what I found. So this is the calendar also. So wouldn't that be great? That is just going to be a really, really great decoupage paper. And 1933. So this is Women's Health Companion magazine from 1933. Look at that super sweet image. I did Google Lens this, and it is from 1933, January of 1933, and it was a magazine. So my grandma, this is the cover of the magazine. She flipped it inside out and made her music book out of it and collected all of her music in there. So crazy, Grandma. But then there's more. So this is my mom's name, Leah Kellnoffer, January 18th, 1946. And Dreams of Yesterday. Here's a couple little different music sheets. Here's another piece of music, and then they wrote in them. I could play piano, but let me tell you, I didn't take this much care in my piano music. I just played the song that they told me to play. This must be upside down. But look at that. If you were a decoupager, these would be so good. This one. Somebody looked at it and it ripped in half. Oh no, this doesn't even go together. Oh yeah, here. Goes this way. So somebody looked at it and it fell apart. But do you know why I'm using the music that I'm using? I got so much of it. Noreen Harper Vesta Harper. That is my great grandmother and my grandmother before she was married. And my grandmother was almost 100 when she died. How many years ago? Granny was over 100 when she died. Noreen Harper. So these are like super, super old. Look at that. Oh, Wilson's allergies are going. Look at that. Okay, I'm done with show and tell. Wilson's allergies are going nuts. So I have so much more. Vesta Harper, Noreen Harper. Look at those colors. So good. All right, let's go back to our project. I could look at that all day.
Outside when it's nice.
Bless you, bless you.
Thank you, thank you.
Um, so I missed way too many comments. I think they've been showing up on the screen. So thank you all for all the comments. I will read them later. So DIY to all those.
Carol says, hey all, DIY on this beautiful everything.
Oh yeah, beautiful, Carol. Beautiful. So here is our, oh, look at that. The advertisement from the backside came through.
Tanya says, amazing, thank you for sharing.
You're welcome, Tanya. It was fun. Okay, this has got to dry a little bit more, but it's so old that I can just push it off while it continues to dry. Oh, that's the tape part. I'm like, why isn't that coming off? Okay, let's let this dry a little bit more. This is the 1911.
Elaine says, Decoupage, more like frames.
Oh gosh, Elaine, that would be a lot of frames. But yes, that would be good. Maybe a few of them will get into a frame, especially with Grandma's name on it. With Grandma and Mom and Granny's name on it, it'll probably get, a couple of them are going to get some special treatment. Okay, fussy cutting out the church. Why am I fussy cutting out the church and not using the music? Because we put music on here. And I'm going to cut the cross right off because I'm going to re-put it on. I'm going to cut the trees off. I don't need them.
Ian says, what amazing memories.
Yeah, they're not memories, Lisa. I don't remember any part of that. I remember my mom playing organ. I don't remember my mom ever playing piano. She played organ. She had a big old organ in the house, but we had, my sister and I had a huge piano that we played. I was in the old house. You never seen that. I was done playing piano by the time I was in 6th grade. Well, I had to go through 6th grade and play piano. Okay, we're going to put this church on here, but I think I have to paint this white. If you don't want all of the look from underneath it coming through, just paint your paper, the backside of your paper, white. We could have done that to the music had I known that the advertisement would come through, but live and learn. We'll fix it. Don't you worry. All right. Now we're going to give this a dry and we're going to decoupage that on. DIY. Okay. It's getting dry. Kimberly says, oh, Connie, that is such a treasure. Elaine says, decoupage, more like frames. Everybody's saying, bless you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm better now.
I put the paper away. He's better now. Have to make sure he takes his allergy pill tomorrow. Okay, this is going on here. So it's okay that this isn't quite dry yet. So now I gotta make sure I get the right brush. And we're gonna go back in with the decoupage medium. And the heavy gel matte medium. I mix those two together because one is really, really thick and it needs to be thinned out a little bit, but the other one doesn't hold as tight. I want to make sure that when I decoupage, it's not going anywhere. So we're going to decoupage this church right on here. Making sure all my corners and edges are down. So if you haven't subscribed to my email, you probably don't know this, but I sold Sweet Pickins out of Extra Bond. Yes, Sweet Pickins does not have any Extra Bond to sell. It's crazy. There was a little piece that came up. I want to make sure that that gets stuck down there. You just put some liquid patina right underneath there. So if you have any Extra Bond, you're lucky. If you don't have any, I'm getting more Extra Bond in on Friday. So there's a few listed on my website. And when they're gone for a while till Sweet Pickins can get more in. So there's the little church on the new music, the 1911 music. It was actually a magazine. It was the back side of a magazine. Okay, let's try this one. And then we're going to paint it. Looking forward to your video on Friday. Thanks, April. I have one coming out tomorrow, too. I have a Thursday video and a Friday video. So you can watch one tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time. It's part of a playlist for DIY. We'll looky there. Fill her up. Kathy, hello, Kathy. So they have a new bonus, yeah. They have a new mixology kit. And there's a playlist for that on Thursday at 6 o'clock. Thank you, April. And then on Friday, I have another video coming out, and that is our chair video. That's still not dry. We did a chair video during Christmas resembling the country sampler chair. And now we're doing a spring version of that. So I have a chair that I made over and made it for spring decor. And both of those videos, guys, I'm going to blow you away with some of the things that I did. Seriously. They're really good. If you haven't watched Monday's video, that one was good also. I don't know why I put so much time into my videos and into my project. I could get done with my editing a whole lot sooner if I wouldn't put so many steps into it. Kind of like this. Why am I doing 2 cutting boards? Why? What's wrong with just one? Why did I painted 2 chairs? Yes. And I only needed one. So we're going to get rid of that excess around here. This is why I did not paint that edge, because I wanted the raw wood to come through and not the white paint. Okay, guys, I got to go over here because I can do it so much faster when it's not hanging in the air. You got your headphones in. I'm sorry, it's probably really loud. Shoo, sorry about that. I know, my cutting board is really warped. Look at that. It's like a potato chip. Tanya, I have not used that word since I left work. Warped like potato chip. We used to say that all the time at work if it was really warped. It's warped like a potato chip. It has so much sink you can wash your hands in it. Wow. Let's not use those words. You know how you can, I just taught you this on the video on Monday. I don't know if it would work for today, but if you want to take the warp out of something, you just paint the back side. I don't know if it would work, but we'll try that later. I turned that light because it was really messing with my lighting here. All right, we're gonna put some flowers on here, and we got to get rid of, we don't got to get rid of those trees. We got to make those trees summery. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is make those trees summery. Okay, prom queen. Little bit of blue. I gotta put some spectacles on. All right, April, DIY, and Kathy. I want this to be very liquidy. And then we're gonna come in and make the sky blue. Making the sky blue is going to like really give you a summertime feel. I'm going right over the cross because I can put that in later. I'm going to go over the trees. If I do go over the church, it has that heavy gel matte medium on it, so I can just wipe it right back off. It doesn't let the paint soak into the paper. That heavy gel matte medium, the paint is just sitting on the top and not soaking in. We're gonna go right in between the trees because we're going to repaint them. Actually, they don't look bad with some paint on them. So this is watered down chalk paint. See how I did that there, Wilson? I think my board is getting worse.
More wish you put it at the window.
Yeah. We're gonna have to paint that backside. I might put a lot of effort into this board and not be able to use it. All right. I want a little bit of yellow back there, a very tiny bit. But I gotta make sure it's dry. I don't want green. Must be concentrating, guys. I'm not talking. All right, look at that. Using your bonding technique on some corbels turned out great. Thanks for that. You're too cool for school. Thank you, Freddie. Freddie, it's sold out right now. Extra Bond is sold out. Such a sad, sad day. In the words of Steve Urkel, did I do that? All right, look at that. I did get some yellow on my church. So I just have to wipe it right back off. But of course, we're going to add some white to this church. And brighten it up because it's summertime. This is how you can make this paper your own. You don't have to leave it as it is. You can make it yours by painting it. Look at that. We just brightened that church up a little bit.
Love how you blend it together.
Thank you.
Yellow is yellow. I think you are responsible for the sell-off. Oh, well.
Well, Sasha blamed me. She didn't blame me. She just gave me credit. She said it's a bittersweet. They're sold out, but Yay, they're sold out. That's a lot of extra bond going out the door, right? From a lot of different retailers, not just me, which is so cool. All right, church got a lot whiter. Now let's paint that door. That door can be a fun pink. Pink. Very.
When did you ever went to church with a pink door?
What color are they normally?
Now pink.
Well, this is my church. Well, this one was stained. Now it's got a little pink hue to it. All right. I know what else I wanted to do. Some of that yellow from that sunrise or set. What is it? Sunrise or sunset? On the church. You can't see that, but look at that. Just a little bit of reflection from that sunrise or sunset. Now we got to work on those trees. Green. Fixed one. Can you guys see? Now I'm going to mix a little bit of yellow in there to brighten it up, making it a little bit more yellowy green. Well, that one I didn't want yellow green. That one I wanted darker green. So I'm going to go in with the pink. Because red and green that make mud.
When it says sunrise, of course, spring, new beginning.
There you go. Wise advice there, Elaine. Okay, that tree is way in the back. Now we're going to go into that greeny yellow color. I gotta lighten it up a touch. I can't make it look like snow. They were snow on these trees. But you still have pine trees in the summertime. Just not full of snow and a little bit greener. This one right here, this one's right in the front. So we're going to make him a little yellower. That sunrise is really getting this guy.
You think these DIYs are making peace wiser?
Yeah, they are. DIY. Okay, now I got to tone them all together because they kind of are standing out by themselves. So I'm going to go in with the darker green.
Chipwood?
Lisa Chitwood.
Yep. Made it. Looks great.
Thanks, Lisa.
Lisa Stevens says, so beautiful.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, so I'm going in with some of these other greens that I made and making them all kind of go together. So I'm pushing this other color around, especially this dark one. And then I'm going to go in with the not quite so yellow green. All right, greener trees. Now we need flowers. So I need my liner brush because we need to make grass or stems first. There kind of already is grass here, but it is a lot darker. So we're just going to cover this up with some nice, can you see this? Some nice fun brush stroke. This is kind of like when I get those pictures out of the thrift store and then I paint them and make them into something else. That's what this kind of is. We're going to do some big old flowers over here on this side where the trees are. We're pushing those trees back in the distance. Good thing I didn't put any snow on those steps.
It was summer.
Well, I painted this for winter.
Yeah.
So good thing there's no snow on them. I'd have to cover that up. All right, going in with a lighter green. All right, perfect. I'm gonna wash that out. Makes me think of the song Rise and Shine and Give God Your Glory that we would sing on the church bus in my youth. I never heard of that one, Sheila. And let me tell you, I spent a lot of time at Catholic school. Did I pay attention? Now that is the question. I thought I paid attention. All right, let's DIY because I got flowers to make.
Sherry worked out a good evening, guys. Looks awesome. DIY. Eastern Church. Sweet.
Thanks, Sherry. It is an Easter church. All right, so I painted that door very, very light pink because we're going to have some pink flowers. And these are just going to be blobs. blobs. Because they're so tiny down here, I'm making them like looking like tulips. How's that? Better, Wilson? Oh,
You know I'm sitting next to you, it's like,
these are little tulips.
well, I see the big ones. Maybe somebody else has got better eyes and sees the color.
Well, Wilson, you can't see red on green, and this is pink on green, so you might not be able to.
I can see.
You can see. You're color deficient,
Yeah, I'm not colorblind. I see red.
but you don't see red when it's on top of green.
I can see the cardinal if you point him out to me.
Yeah, you can't ever see him when he's sitting in that evergreen tree out there. You can never see him.
I know it's him though.
All right. Let's make some daffodils. Which are just blobs. But it's springtime, so you're going to know they're daffodils.
Here, no, there.
Mm.
Very still, you can make God look like
Thanks, Sherry.
Carol said that's beautiful. Love your shirt.
Thank you, Carol. Here is a brighter yellow. Whoops, right onto the pink. These, I am not even really trying to mimic anything here. Besides petals and then that little trumpet. Petals and trumpet. Now, we need to enhance some lines a little bit. And then we're going to do our other one. Because I think he's almost done. These lines that I painted over, I'm bringing them back in front. We also have to go over this steeple, not stick my hand in the paint. It's bringing the church forward because we kind of pushed it back with the white that we put over the top. We kind of pushed it back. We should brighten up those windows a little bit. All right.
Those who like it blob, they look like blobs. They don't have very light.
That's what people in my arts camp say. They're like, I can't believe your blobs look like flowers. I teach you how. Oh, why do I always forget that? Where do I put it? Right here. I had to put that initial back on there because I took it off. Now I need a little white. Just to brighten up some of these flowers. You want to brighten something out and bring it foreground. Add a tiny little highlight of white and it'll bring it right to the front. Okay, that one's done. Now I can put my paints away and we're going to try the second one. Are you going to hang out with me while we try the second one? I don't think I need paint. We'll see. That is so cute. This one worked too, Wilson. DIY, everyone. Thank you, Marla. All right, we need, if you got your earbuds in, turn them down for a minute. Oh, how am I going to finish the top? Well, I'm going to, after this dries, I'll give it a coat of Big Top, which will make those colors really bright. And then I will sand this area, and I'll sand these edges, and then I'll dark wax. So the reason you want to Big Top first and then sand your edges is because if you Big Top and then sand and don't sand this edge, the Big Top seals in this wood, and your Big Top isn't going to absorb into the wood. So you have to Big Top, let it dry, and then sand this edge again. And then I'll sand this again. I won't Big Top this part right here, but I'll still give it a nice sand so that the dark wax absorbs into that. You're getting your Christmas order today, April? Excellent. Oh, she DIY'd me? All right. So did April. DIY. I think we might need to brighten up this church. Look at the difference in the church. We might need to brighten that up. Do we make it white or do we make it a color? Look at this one. He wrote on top. That was not even planned. All right, let's paint that church a little bit. White, or do we want a different color? My DIY drink is disappearing way too fast. Wilson, what color would the church be?
I was thinking.
I'm not painting it red. There's no way I'm painting this church red. Try again.
White.
Okay, perfect. I knew you were going to say that.
You did.
I knew it.
I think there is.
I'm not painting this church red.
You put pink doors on the other one.
We're going to brighten it up.
Elaine says pale blue.
Oh, that would be a good option, Elaine. You can still do that.
Carol says white.
No,
A bunch of people say red.
no, not doing red. Oh, someone does say brick. April said brick. I have a hard time using red at Christmas time, let alone in the summertime. And just think, my very first chalk paint that I ever used was red. I don't know what I was thinking.
I lightened up that roof a little bit. All right, Elaine, we can put a little bit of light blue in there. What color is my door going to be if I'm painting this light blue?
Yellow.
Oh boy. Made more water. So when you're painting on that rice paper, you don't want straight paint. You want it watered down just a little bit, but you also want to make sure that you have your heavy gel matte medium on the paper so that if you make a mistake, you can just lob it right off. And the heavy gel matte medium will help that. We're gonna go in and gray up that roof a little bit.
We darkened up that roof.
Okay. I'm also going to,
Into the white.
oh,
Rub it down to navy. You could use a darker blue on the border. There's a couple options.
I do have a couple options.
Into the door.
Okay, let's try this. Oh, it looks too flat to me.
my church looks flat. Yeah, the board has a curve. I gotta add a little bit of white, counteract that blue on the highlight side. And then give it a little highlight here and here.
Okay, now it doesn't look quite so flat to me. Okay, let's, Wilson, will you check my plug? Let's DIY.
What?
The plug, for some reason, I'm not working.
You got like 20 things plugged in here.
I know. A shingle roof.
Try it.
There you go. So look at the difference in our churches. And this is the same paper. You guys are hanging with me for a long time because this is an hour and almost an hour and a half already. Thank you. You're just as curious as me.
All right.
Listen to
I hear that, honey.
we just got snow and now it's raining.
We're gonna go with the white door because I don't have any navy. I don't have any dark blue out. I'd have to grab some.
Get some pinkish red over there.
Look at that. We can even change the door. Now I need a little bit of this gray to give it some shape. It turns too gray. We'll have to white that up in a minute. I'm being too fussy, guys. This is what I do when I paint by myself, not when I'm live. Okay. DIY. Wow, church is amazing. And look, the paper and the memories of your grandma and mom. Uh-huh. Time has no meaning when watching Connie paint. Well, good. I'm glad. And you're not going to care that I have to put a shadow line in. Because I see it and I don't like it. So I got a little bit of layered chocolate. Now I got to wash my brush. Okay, guys, be ready. I got to go around my church and make a shadow line here because it drives me crazy that it looks like it's just floating on the page. And that's because I fussy cut this paper out. So now look at that compared to that. This side has the shadow mark on it. This side does not. It takes a little practice, but I teach that in art camp. So there's one side of the church has it, the other side does not. Let's make them match. Sometimes they get a little heavy. Don't worry. I can straighten it all out. All right, it's not floating anymore. You could paint all night and keep watching. Well, I'm glad. This side, I want it to be a little bit more shadowed. There we go. So let's put the cunning lines in, because I don't know what I'm going to do with the transfers. I don't know where I'm going to put those. So let's put the cunning lines back in. Thank you, Martha. Martha likes it. All right, we're going to put the steeple back in. And I know I'm going to have to shadow around that too, so I can see it already. Oh, hang on. I wanted those windows a little bit brighter. Okay, that worked. I don't want them to look like Amityville Horror. Does anybody read those books? And watch the movie? Yeah, the movie. And I read the books and then watched the movie. The book is always better.
Really?
Yeah. So you could put flower boxes on these windows. You could go all out with this. Putting their door back together. So one thing I could have done that was made that grass a little greener, but I'm not going to worry about that. Oh, I got this window I missed. I'm not worrying about that tonight because we're going to try this. I saw the movie. I was never much on reading. Oh. Love watching you paint because you see things my eyes don't see. But once you paint them, I'm like, of course. Diana says, scary. Yeah, it was a scary movie. I should have printed out another one of these churches so that we can compare what that looked like before I painted it. Now, I hope that it's dry enough because I have some IOD transfers here. And I'm going to cut them apart, I think. They are kind of big, but I don't really like this bird. So I'm cutting him out. Bye-bye, bird. Now we have a couple sprigs. Of flowers that we're hopefully going to use. I have some little butterflies that we'll use. They're tiny. I have some more of these little flowers that are the same tone as those. So I'm going to cut these apart. This one I can't really cut apart. I'm going to cut it apart right here. And cut that little white piece off. This one I'm going to cut here. I'm going to cut that little piece off. So we have this little piece. And what else did I save out of here? That one's too big. That one's too big. That one's too big. And then I have this one that has all of these little pieces here. Got that little piece. That little piece. Just cut them apart. What's it gonna hurt, right? Cut them apart. Make them your own design. So we're gonna put these bigger flowers on first. Hopefully this is dry enough. Where's my stick? Here it is. Oh, Elaine, good choice with the blue church, since we have these purple flowers. Complementary colors. next to each other on the color wheel.
Jealous of I can do that. Then it looks like a flop.
Exactly. That's why I'm doing this. That is exactly why I'm doing this. I wanted you to know you could do this too. Couple of little flowers. Another little one over here. Elaine didn't even know what we were doing, and she picked the perfect color for that church. All right, this is going to go way up in front here, so I'm going to wait till last. Here's some little wildflowers growing down here. Yeah, I should have made that grass lighter. More little wildflowers growing on this side. Here's some little white flowers. They'll go right up against the church. They're kind of cream colored flowers. Here's another big blue flower. We'll put him right here. Nope, he's gonna go right here. Oops. Oh, he can't grow out of the sidewalk. Well, yeah, he can. There might be grass over there. He's growing right out of the sidewalk. Perfect. One more little blue one over here. Nope, we're gonna save that with this. That's gonna go right here. We're gonna put this blue right up against the church. Perfect. And then this one is big. It's gonna go right in front. Make a statement. Whoops. In photography, anything that's right in front of your lens is going to be biggest. So these flowers were in the foreground when this photographer took the picture. So they were bigger. There we go, guys.
Not everyone can walk in the colors without
Yes. Sherry was the one who talked me into selling IOD. I don't like that little. We're going to go with this little green butterfly here. Sherry asked me one day, she said, "Are you going to sell IOD?" And I said, "No, why?" And she said, "Why not?" And I said, "Why would I? I can paint." And she goes, "But we can't." Oh, yeah. I think here. He's a little big, but we're still going to put him on. So the reason I sell IOD is because of Sherry Bushhaber on here tonight. Otherwise, I'd have never sold it. Because I can paint, but I love it. All right. Look at that, guys. 1 second. So this is where the twine is going to be. So you won't even notice, and it'll be dark waxed. So you won't care that that is like that. And then this one will go around here like this. Woo! That was a long line. Which one do you like better? Hand paint? Hand painted? IOD. Love it. When you big top, the colors of flowers in the grass will pop. You are right, Elaine. And we can test that out.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Deborah. We're going to warp it some more. We're going to put, this is big top, or this is liquid patina. We're just going to put some liquid patina on here. And now watch those colors pop. There we go. I will try painting the back side of this cutting board to take the warp out.
I'd be curious.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but maybe.
I'd be curious.
So look at that. They're both pretty, but I love the painted one best. Thank you, Carol. Fun results. Love watching you. DIY. You love the one with the trees. That would be the hand painted one. Oh, yeah. Good thought, Elaine. So there they are. I love the one with the trees. They're both pretty, but I love the painted one best. Elaine says IOD, I like the one more music sheet. Sherry says awesome as always, Connie. Love IOD, but here's a DIY for you. DIY, Sherry. So pretty. And you can do that one yourself. Look at that blue church, Elaine. You were right on. And then there's the white church with the little hand-painted lines. But yes, the trees, they need to go. Let's get rid of those trees. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Until next time, happy painting.